I'm Emma, and this is the After Sessions, and I'm here with Roisin O'Hagan. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming down. You've come all the way from Chelmsford.
Yes, Chelmsford in Essex.
You've got this incredible voice. At what point did you kind of realise that you had this strong, powerful voice?
Oh, thank you. To be honest, I've always kind of like sang and not really thought much of my own voice as such. I've always been more into like the songwriting side, and it's just obviously I want to sing my songs. So
right.
I think over time I just kind of developed my own singing style, and yeah.
So when did you start putting pen to paper?
I reckon I was around 12 years old. That was when I was starting to like pick up a guitar and write with the guitar.
Okay.
But I think before that I was like scribbling little poems and making melodies up to them and trying to remember them, kind of thing.
I always find this really fascinating because it makes me think back to what I was doing when I was 12 or even younger, and I definitely wasn't writing songs.
I was just weird then.
No, not at all. I think it's amazing. So what kind of thing back then would inspire your songs or your songwriting?
I've always been into writing story songs about like made up situations. Like, Not all my songs are about something that's really happened to me. I like putting myself in a character's shoes almost.
Nice.
So a lot of that, like, always been into like, well, bit of reading, bit of like watching films, stuff like that.
Is that still the same now, or do you find like it shifted with age a little bit?
The way I write?
Yeah.
A little bit. I think I try and challenge myself a bit more to write about certain things rather than just sticking with what I want, kind of. But at the same time, I do feel the best songs are like the ones that come naturally, sort of. So
how does that writing process work? Do you sit down and go, right, I want to write a song today, or do you just find that bits come to you and then you kind of compile it all together?
Well, I treat it a bit like you've got to like exercise the songwriting muscle almost. So most of the songs that I think like are any good of mine that I go on to use, whether that be like gigging with them or record them or whatever, are the ones that I sit down and write in like 30 minutes time, kind of thing. But
okay, amazing.
That doesn't always happen.
So almost, I kind of imagine it to be like an exam. So you almost like put the timer on and go, right, let's go. Is that really how it works?
No, sometimes I do feel like really just uninspired to write anything without too much thought, kind of.
Yeah.
And so I think to myself, right, I'm going to try and write something. If I don't like it, that's fine, because I'm thinking about writing, and that means next time I sit down, maybe something will come out straight away.
Wow, you're so good to yourself. So good.
Just kind to myself.
So what was, in terms of like starting the music road, for want of a better word, at what point did you think, right, I'm going to give this a really good go?
Well, I think I first played a gig, like an open mic sort of gig, at around 13 years old, and was very nervous, obviously, but I just really enjoy trying to like connect with an audience through my songs, and I think from then on I just wanted to carry on and keep seeing what I could do with it, basically, and it just hasn't really stopped.
Do you still get nervous before you perform?
I get nervous, but more about whether my throat hurts a bit that day or something like that.
Okay, as opposed to the people?
Yeah, because I get a buzz out of performing to people.
Yeah.
So
you've done quite a few gigs around London. Have you got a favourite venue?
I played a few gigs in London. So there was the Bedford in Balham I did. Is it Balham you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Also did the Finsbury. Recently played at, where was it I played? A place called the Lucky Pig.
Yeah, we know that. It's in Fitzrovia, right?
Yes, that's it.
Cool, nice.
And they're all like just really individual and characterful in themselves, and they're always fun to play. So.
Awesome. Do you have any pre-gig rituals that you have to do before you go on stage?
None apart from I can't drink anything that's like fizzy or alcoholic before I sing, because I just get hiccups. Let's start a fire, we can burn and see all the scars and all the secrets in the sparks that we leave in the silence. You're a melody, she's an angel, he's a saint, and well, it's killing me, 'cause I'm a damn good hater, but I'd love to love you. And they call me crazy, but they got it all wrong. So hey, why'd you look for me? I've been shaking, I've been running, I've been under the sheets. Won't you stay? Yeah, I've been real good, I've been waiting like a loaded gun, riding a dangerous song. Said you've get it in a month or free. But I caught you all the while that you were catching me. Should've warned you, lay the blame on me. Drive you to the front door, but you know you'll never leave. I'm a damn good hater, but I'd love to love you. And they call me crazy, but they got it all wrong. So hey, why'd you look for me? I've been shaking, I've been running, I've been under the sheets. Won't you stay? Yeah, and I've been real good, I've been waiting like a loaded gun, riding a dangerous song, riding a dangerous song. I'll be singing all day long. Honey, you're a dangerous song. I'll be singing all day long. Hey, why'd you look for me? I've been shaking, I've been running, I've been under the sheets. Won't you stay? Yeah, and I've been real good, I've been waiting like a loaded gun, riding a dangerous hay. Why'd you look for me? I've been shaking, I've been running, I've been under the sheets. Won't you stay? Yeah, and I've been real good, I've been waiting like a loaded gun, riding a dangerous song, riding a dangerous song. I'll be singing all day long. Honey, you're a dangerous song. I'll be singing all day long. I'll be singing all day long.
The Alpha Sessions.
So you have released an EP last year called Grey and Blue.
Blue and grey.
Blue and Grey, sorry.
Nearly.
And what was that about? Talk us through the process.
So I write all the time. I always have like a huge backlog of songs, and at the time it was just 4 of the songs that I really liked playing and gigging a lot, like around that time period, and so I stuck them all together, used one of them as the title track, and
Nice. Cool. And you've got an upcoming single coming out really soon.
Yes.
It's called Drive.
Yes.
And where did the inspiration for that come from? Was that on an experience, or is that another imagination-y cool one?
Well, this was more about real life, this one. Was the real life kind of songs I write are normally the more cheesy ones.
Okay.
So this was more like about a relationship and just being like really in the moment kind of thing. And I thought I'm just going to write about all the happy feelings that come with that because, cheesy, but...
When you're writing about, I guess, personal experiences, do you almost find it weird to kind of share them?
In a way, but I also like writing about personal experiences. Like lyrically, I like trying to find the most like out there way of saying something.
Okay.
The kind of lyrics that will make people stop and think like, that's a really weird way to put that, but like I get it.
Yeah.
So I like bringing out personal experiences in that way and like being really sensitive around situations and like sharing that with people.
Okay, interesting. And in terms of musicians, other musicians that inspire you in your songwriting, who would you say would be up there?
My biggest songwriting influence is Adam Duritz, who's the frontman of Counting Crows.
Yep.
He's absolutely the biggest one for me.
Okay.
Love Counting Crows songs so much. I'm also a huge fan of early Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
That
okay.
wasn't
Yeah,
a bit
quite
obvious.
quite country-esque.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know all her early stuff like off by heart, basically. Other than that, a lot of acoustic-y kind of artists like Gabrielle Aplin, that kind of thing. Just like songwriters, really, on the whole.
Do you find that, as well as being a big fan of them, they inspire the way you write and the way you produce your songs, or...?
Yeah, because everyone's got their own way of kind of approaching songwriting, I guess, and their own way of like pushing boundaries and things. And I like looking at, especially when these artists bring out new songs, and thinking like, what process did they go through to get to that
point.
and trying to like challenge myself that way.
Nice. And you've done quite a few covers online, I've noticed. Particularly the Taylor Swift one, which is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
What is it like? What strategy and what is the process that goes on in terms of original song versus cover, and like what makes you decide what cover to do?
I'm actually really stubborn when it comes to covers, so
Okay.
a lot of people tell me like if you're doing like a 45-minute set, you've got to throw in 2 or 3 covers.
Yeah.
And I know that's right, but I just prefer doing my own.
Fair enough.
So for me to pick a cover to do, I've got
Yeah.
to really like that song and really like my own way of playing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to just copy the way it's done originally.
Agreed. How do you come up with that new way of playing it? Isn't that really hard?
Well, a lot of the time, I actually base it on, can I find a different set of chords to play it to, like different way of playing it that gives it a bit of a, like variation on the original and gives me scope to kind of make it my own a little bit, change a melody here and there, but still be like the same song.
Okay, interesting. That EP that you did last year, was that your debut EP?
No, I had an EP before that, which came out about a year or so before,
Okay.
called Dark Dark Light, and I recorded that when I was probably around 14, so I sounded like an absolute baby in that. So I just kind of like shoved that to a side.
So is it an album next, or?
I think actually I'm going the other way and trying to do
Okay.
like more singles, like
Cool.
kind of little and often.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see how that goes.
Has that been kind of changed because of the whole streaming process?
Well, that's one thing in it, I suppose. And the other thing is, as a really small like independent artist, I've found it's quite difficult to put out an EP of songs and be like, here, go and buy it, go and like stream it kind of thing when no one knows you. Whereas if you've got one song at a time every now and then, you've got more of a campaign to push like little and often and like try and get people latched on that one song, and maybe they'll stay tuned for the next one kind of thing.
I guess that's why a lot of people are doing campaigns like one single every 6 weeks, or I don't know, every couple of months.
Yeah,
or
it
whatever.
does work. It seems to be working at the moment. You've got an old soul, I've got a light heart. Fell down a foxhole in June, out on your own road, stuck in a heat wave, took on the whole world with you. Autumn was hazy, took me right into November, and then I started sinking all the way to the winter, and it fade. Oh hey, if I start to miss you, then I might as well run, kick up the old dirt, put on your old shirt, and I just need a second, 'cause I miss you, love, I miss you like June. You took the highway, we learned the hard way, just what a heartache can do. And in the late nights, even the dark nights, nothing else works like we do. Head in the summer till the evenings got darker, I was lost in a soul until the seasons got colder and it fade. Oh hey, if I start to miss you, then I might as well run, kick up the old dirt, put on your old shirt, and I just need a second, 'cause I miss you, love, I miss you like June. I miss you, love, I miss you like June. Autumn was hazy, took me right into November, and then I started sinking all the way to the winter. Got your feet up, I've got no fear, love, nobody knows us like we do. And in the late nights, we had our first fight, you said it's alright. 'Cause I miss you, love, I miss you anyway. Oh, hey. If I sort of miss you, then I might as well run, kick up the old dirt, put on your old shirt, and I just need a second. 'Cause I miss you, love, I miss you, and I just need a second. 'Cause I miss you, love, I miss you, and I just need a second. 'Cause I miss you, love, I miss you like June.
The Alpha Sessions.
We're back in this imaginary world now. And if you were able to collaborate with anyone at any venue, who would it be with and where? Sorry, big question.
I'm going to say the obvious one for me is say Adam Duritz again, Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Just because I find his songwriting style so like, I don't know, you can't really pin it down. And he does this thing where he'll go on stage and sing a song, like they have a song called Round Here.
Yeah.
And every time they perform it, they play it differently, and he sings it differently, and he'll add different verses and make up lyrics on the spot, kind of thing. And I feel like it would be really interesting to collaborate with him because his mind just works so differently when it comes to songwriting.
Do you not find that weird though? Because like if you go to a gig, you have a certain expectation of how the song is going to sound, and then if the song doesn't sound like that, then
you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Does that not kind of make you think, hang on a minute, something's not quite right here?
Well, it's hard to explain because like there's a lot of YouTube videos of him doing this.
Yeah.
Like there's one in particular where they released a DVD called Live at Town Hall where they have one version of this song Round Here on it, which goes on for 11 minutes. And they do keep the bits that people know in it, but they put things in between. And he'll just sing what comes out on the spot kind of thing. And the band will be looking at him like, are we going back to this now? Are we going back to this bit now? And it always goes back to the chorus. And because people know that he does it, it just works.
Fair enough.
And it comes across really well.
Guess you started to build like a reputation.
Yeah.
And where would it be?
I saw Counting Crows at the Roundhouse in Camden in 2014. So I'm going to say there.
Okay,
so that's what I always associate them with.
Okay, sweet. And if you were to have a dream rider, so like you could have anything you want before a gig, what would it be?
I'd love to say food, but I'm really bad at eating before a gig.
Okay.
I get like, not nervous as in I can't eat, just like I just want to go and play.
Yeah, fair enough.
So maybe like something really girly like makeup.
Okay, cool. You've done quite a few radio sessions. All over the place. Yes. I'm not going to ask you if you had a favourite one because I think that'd be quite nice. But I will say, in terms of being quite an independent artist, and I'd say like being at the start of your career, did it take some quite getting used to in terms of like being able to answer questions about yourself and being able to promote yourself? And have you got any advice for people that are, I guess, further down the ladder, if you like, and just starting out?
Yeah. So having like been doing like little gigs and things since around 12 or 13, I've done like very small kind of radio things now and then.
Yeah.
And so I used to be really nervous with like talking and stuff and would like try and say the shortest answer possible.
Yeah.
I would just say like, you're there to tell someone about yourself, so talk away kind of and be open and try and think of things to say that not everyone is just going to say kind of thing. Like think seriously, like what would you actually say to that question?
Yeah.
Just be open.
Okay, cool. And in terms of like music industry wise, it is, I imagine, quite difficult. Nowadays you've got all sorts of streaming services and social media platforms that like musicians have to keep up with. If you had one bit of advice sort of in that department, what would you say to someone?
Well, the one thing that always gets me is how much I just want to be friends with everyone I meet in music and support everyone and like have them support me back. And so I'd say just be friends with people, like build connections with people, but not like a business relationship. Be their friend and enjoy it, because if you, at the end of the day, if it doesn't go anywhere, you want to make great friends out of it and enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. Cool, nice. And if people want to find out more about you, where can they go to find out more about?
So I'm on all kinds of social media under Roisin O'Hagan. So it's ROISIN O'Hagan.
Irish origin by any chance?
Irish, yeah, half Irish anyway. On I'm on Instagram,
Awesome.
Twitter, all that, Facebook. My Instagram and Twitter is Roisin, so ROSEY_ROISIN.
Okay,
Bit
cool.
weird, but I've always had it like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll hear from you soon about upcoming tracks,
Definitely.
little and often.
Yes. Oh my, been a while since you've been around. Another wildfire, find it hard and then you burn it out. I'm shutting out love again, I can't go through again. Not getting over it, over and over like a sharp knife. Pull me in and then you cut me down. And oh, I say, how'd you know what you're waiting for? And how'd you know what you feel is true? How can you tell me that I'm what you live for? I'm still living in the dark with you. Just a car ride, getting lost in a bigger sound. Another late night, getting caught and getting found. Saw a red light again, how can I love again? Over and over, and how can I say goodnight with alarm bells ringing out? And oh, I say, how'd you know what you're waiting for? And how'd you know what you feel is true? How can you tell me that I'm what you live for? I'm still living in the dark with you. I'm still living in the dark with you. I'm still living in the dark, yeah. Oh, you say I never know what I'm waiting for. I always know what I feel is true. How could I tell you that I loved you before? I'm still living in the dark, yeah. Oh, I say, how'd you know what you're waiting for? And how'd you know what you feel is true? How can you tell me that I'm what you live for? I'm still living in the dark with you. I'm still living in the dark with you. I'm still living in the dark, yeah. Oh, I say, how'd you know what you're waiting for? I'm still living in the dark, and oh, how can you tell me that I'm what you live for? I'm still living in the dark with you. I'm still living in the dark.